ソードサイクロンジョーカー変身
Hey guys, welcome to the 55th episode of the Soda Pop Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
It's Josh.
And plenty to talk about with this Sodo post?
You know, it would really be helpful if you said your name every now and again, but I did listen to the Tokusatsu Network podcast that you were on. You chose not to introduce yourself there either, so I guess that's a running theme.
Like, yeah. I don't know if it's in one of the ones that's been posted, but the one leading the episode just said, "I always forget that you do this."
Well, if you wanted any context on that, the links in the description down below are going to take you to a feature that Malunis was on, a podcast he was on for the Tokusatsu Network, talking about toys. So it's a good.
And
time.
I made sure to give plenty of attention to Sodo and why I like it and the blog. And at the end, I also plugged our podcast.
Nice.
Oh, thank you, because we were leaking. It is becoming too juicy. I'm glad you plugged it. So we have a bit of news. Probably should have started with that up at the top. But we've got some Kamen Rider stuff and we've got some Kiramager stuff. The people who click this episode is probably looking for the Kiramager stuff, but you gotta wait because there's double stuff.
Yes, because it's
we gotta start with.
In case you didn't know, 2020 is the 10th episode anniversary of Kamen Rider Double is 2020.
That's right.
Yes.
Not 2019.
No, not at all.
Why would it be? What?
Well, the show started in
anniversary was last year.
Oh, right. That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the anniversary of the completion of the show. I don't know.
That's probably what they're thinking.
Or like
just
the bulk
decided
of
to
the show,
continue
if like the bulk of the show existed within 2010.
That is true. Yeah.
So
I was just going to say,
hey.
or they decided to continue celebrating even though it's not 2019 anymore.
Or
they
here's
do like
another
to do
thing.
that.
2020, 2 2s, it's double all around. So why wouldn't you?
No, don't like that.
Oh no. So yeah, let's talk about Double. And Malunis, like what you said, this is more or less a Dai Soto version of Chronicle Double, which I mean, they didn't outright say it, but that's what I consider this. Like,
I mean, with all the
that's
upgrades,
missing,
it pretty much is.
yeah.
They went
And like the only thing that's go ahead.
They went so far out of their way to not call it Dai Soto that they specifically gave it the name Kamen Rider Double Limited Coloring Version.
Yeah,
but in one of the images, one of the very misleading images was that they put it stood it next to a shrunken down version of the old version.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but maybe it's a hint that is a Dai Soto, a large version. Perhaps.
Sure.
Possibly. I don't know.
Something.
But I guess Dai and Kai Soto are that name they probably want to like use whenever they're doing the Aeon exclusives. I know that we've gotten a Dai Soto specification figure in build. I don't know if they called it that though, like Dai Soto specification, but not specifically the set was titled Dai Soto.
Oh,
Yes.
you talking about the Rabbit Tank Hazard thing?
No, I'm talking about
Rogan
Rogan Grease.
Oh, right.
Their
right.
premium set.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
Either
just
way, like it's
just like those Dai Soto sets, this one is going to be kind of hard to get. Because
because it's $20 and it's premium Bandai.
$20 doesn't sound so bad.
It doesn't, especially when you compare it to the rest of the premium Bandai releases we've seen so far, like with Shodo. So those are generally, if you cut up the waves that those come in, those are about $20 each.
Well, it says including tax, it's 4,000 yen.
That's for the other thing part of it.
Ah.
Yeah. Because they're separate and not together. which I guess is nice. We'll talk about that later. But we have detailed molding this time around. All the etching in the suit is done up in molded detail. I would get out my Soto figures to check what sort of molding was there, but one, they're underneath stickers. Two, I'm very sweaty. I just came back from a bike ride. So that's not happening. I'm not touching anything right now. The belt has red paint on it. Red and silver paint on it. Notably, it's not fully painted because you still need to put down the stickers for the memories and the like light up portion.
And the belt strap.
Yeah. And then we have some new like muffler pieces, which is neat. And then there's a maximum drive slot that has Joker in it, which is really nifty.
Yeah, I like what they did with that a lot.
Along with specifically, because it still does the split in half thing, they include a variant of the Joker half that doesn't have a memory loaded in it. So that's nice.
Yeah. It's very convenient.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Among all the other things that are new on this mold, like the molded detailing on the secondary colors, that this pelvis part would also require them to make a new piece, because that little memory thing was originally just molded into it, not removed.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Oh, and on top of that, like, the brand new thing, the whole reason why you're buying a limited color version is because it's done up in, like, the green half, the Cyclone half is done up in this beautiful metallic sheen. They did their best to color match it. And the black half, the Joker half, is done up in a matte black to match up with
I love
his
it.
screen thing. It seems that in these images, the hands even got those finishes.
Oh yeah,
which is very nice. Yeah.
It's
So I'm excited for that.
So the double fig that I got was like from a seller on eBay, just like someone who had an opened one. Did the Cyclone half come with the pointy hand? Because I don't think mine did. And this one appears to have both.
I'm not sure, and like I said, I can't dig through my stuff now because I'm very sweaty. I'll let you know once I'm all showered and done.
You know what? I can probably answer that in a second. Just keep talking.
Fair enough. Okay. So that's sort of it for the limited color version. I know it's like you don't need it, but I really want it. Like again, to me, Daisoto, this specification is up to par with Daisoto, and like. For me, Daisoto is one of my favorite things to collect within Soto. Like, you get the running line of every gimmick and everything and all that stuff, but then, Daisoto gives you this like limited run peak performance type of action figure. Now, what I would have liked them to do is to sort of carve out a little bit in either the bicep or the forearm so that you could actually bend the arm a little further. But outside of that, that's really that and the foot treads are really the only things that I would change about this figure.
I did just look at the promotional images for this, and no, the Cyclone half didn't come with that hand. That's from the Kamen Rider Cyclone figure.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The one thing, this is being sold on its own, correct? You said that before?
Yeah, so there are two listings for this and the thing we're about to talk about.
Yes. So the one thing is, yes, it's very cool to have this, but part of me is also looking at, like, if you're going to put this much work into it, wouldn't it be kind of neat to just go, here's all three of the forms in one pack that have this treatment?
I mean, then they'd need to replicate, like, they'd need to put it up to this specification. That means doing the molded detail on the chest, doing the replicating the finishes on each half.
I know what I'm
stuffing
saying.
in all those accessories. Huh?
I said, I know what I'm saying. Yes. Yes, that's why I said that's why I said I'm cool with this just being on its own, but wouldn't it be neat? Then you could say it's the Daisoto set.
But here's the thing, like, if we're under the assumption or under the guise that this is Daisoto never does forms, right? It only ever does base form, and that's it.
That's fair. So I guess this.
So that's the way I see this.
Makes sense to look at it like that.
But yeah, what
so
is
this
the other
this
thing?
is something. The other thing is bikes. For the first time, we're getting bikes. It's a hard boilder.
Yes.
Huh?
I said the precedent has now been set.
Yes, it
has. And it's at a pretty affordable price. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna be $60. But we'll get into what all is in here, and then we'll let you know what the price is. Unless you already know what it is, then
that's a true salesman technique.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'm not paid by Bandai at all, but I will sell you. I will go door to door to sell you some soda. Let me tell you.
Oh, we know you will.
Absolutely. So something that I did not, a detail that I didn't like really register with me to put on there is like a license plate. I don't know that I've ever seen that. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen that on any of the releases of the bikes. So that's really dope.
That seems dangerous if you want to have a secret identity.
It does, unless you put the booster unit on, which you can, because it comes with it.
Double just wants to be street legal.
That's true. So yeah, you have the booster attachment, so you get the regular bike, you get the booster attachment, right? And that's, I mean, it looks exactly like it always does. In every single iteration, I don't know if it's accurate, but those struts there are, like, it has plastic all the way through. Like, you can't, obviously you can't recreate those struts between the boosters, but they seem to do it all the same way. So it's interesting to always see it there. I don't know. Yeah. That's just me. Very excited for this. It looks like you're getting a lot of silver paint on there as well, if not molded silver with the boosters, but like the tubes, all the piping, that's done up in paint. Another thing, it also helps to have the flowy scarf on this one, so definitely buy the limited color version. Then the turbular unit. Yeah, I never knew what the names of these things were.
I mean, they weren't used much, so that's fair.
I'm looking at it now. That's Tabura. Okay, I guess that's what you would call it.
Turbular.
The most I remember these being used was in the Double and Decayed movie.
I barely remember that movie, so... Really? The only movies that I remember are, like, Surprise Drive and every other Koichi Sakamoto movie.
That's fair.
Yeah. And then, also, pair this fine wine with a cheese of premium Bandai heat metal. Hopefully you own that, because if you don't, you're SOL, my friend. And it is another reminder that anytime they do staff figures, there is a sticker that runs across the hand. The part where you hold it.
They love that.
I forgot. And I don't know why it's commonplace, and I don't know why they think that's okay. But...
Well, I don't really know how else they would do it.
I don't either.
It makes sense why it's molded in gray.
Yeah. But,
it's just unfortunate.
It is. Boat! Splasher unit! You can splash, splash. Taking a bath? I don't know. I tried to find something double related.
Man, it's been so long since I've seen all these attachments for the bike. Man, these have some major 80s toy energy.
Which is strange because this is a 90s, early 2000s toy. Early 2000s toy.
It's very vintage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's good stuff. Do
So-
you know how much this costs though?
No.
How much, Corey?
4,180 yen.
Yeah, that's not horrible.
That's not horrible.
Nice.
That's
So, here's what
very
I'm-
reasonable. For
Here's what I'm
everything
interested
together,
in,
it's
though.
about 60.
Yeah,
How
that's
much
not bad.
gum does it come with?
Oh, that's a good question. Josh? Cut to Josh on the streets.
Hey, so the limited color version of Double comes with one piece of gum.
That's fair.
As
Whoa.
for the bike,
It also comes
Yeah.
with one. Gum
Yeah, that
soda
makes sense.
taste. One.
gum soda taste.
I'm not buying.
Gum soda taste. Huh?
You said it comes with one gum. I just said I'm not buying it.
So I know for a fact that there are a handful of you, maybe just one of you, a specific one person who's going to be very excited that bikes are on the horizon and is already
yes.
clamoring for a Kuga bike.
What's interesting to me now is that now that they've done the attachments for the hard boiler or whatever, Axel's bike form used them sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
That-
maybe
you
they
know,
were
that's-
saving that.
It is strange that Soto, for all that they say about, oh, we really want to do the gimmick and make sure the gimmick is represented, they never did anything with Axel. They just sort of released him.
Yeah,
and that was
That's what I was saying just now. Is that's why they saved the bike mode so they could work this out first.
it. Yeah, I really want
I'm
them to
thinking-
get that Caterpillar unit thing.
They could do like an interesting like 2-pack where they could do Axel in his bike form, and then they could repaint Double's bike for Skull, like how they had
Oh
that.
my god, that would be beautiful.
Because it's the same mold, you just have to paint it.
Yeah. I still need to pick up an extra skull.
So,
Oh, yeah,
Corey,
for-
you
Yeah.
you are the one who has to do this because you have the specific choice for it. Would you be able to share with the audience in the Discord or on Twitter how the DX bike from 2009 scales with this one? Like, put the double figure in a similar pose as the photo here.
I mean, I could do that. Again, I'm very sweaty.
Well, I'm not saying right this moment. I'm just saying,
Right.
would you be able to in the future, like, provide a comparison?
Yeah, absolutely. Just remind me, because I'm gonna forget after the shower.
Fair enough.
I keep talking about my shower. I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm sorry. But that would be a good way to sort of figure out what the scale is.
Yeah.
Just by cross-referencing with this. That's a good idea.
And
I am wondering though, because like my double figure, it like when it's riding the bike, it can't look straight ahead, and it looks like in most of these images, outside of the first one, the first really photoshopped one, the
Mhm.
head doesn't look up still.
Lou?
Oh, that's interesting.
So I don't know that this is sort of suited for that. Oh, someone left.
Oh.
That was Malunis. Well, hello. Hello?
Okay, there we go. You were saying
Oh,
you
welcome
were
back.
curious. You were curious. You said my double figure, and then
Oh, yeah, the head, it doesn't look up properly with a bike. Like, for a bike seated position situation. And it doesn't
Conveniently,
look
this
like
one
this
doesn't-
figure is situated for that as well. The only thing that is close is, like, that first image. Like, the photoshopped one.
I was about to say. I was going to say conveniently they did not pose him in any way that requires them to do that.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
like the second closest is the one before the kick, the one where
Right,
he's kicking
right.
on the bike. So, I am interested to see if anything changes, but I doubt it, specifically since they didn't like note anything about it.
Yeah.
And that, that's something that I found difficult with my figure as well. Because that was the only umbrage I took with the Revulgari, buying the Revulgari. It wasn't the Revulgari itself. It was Soto Double wasn't prepared to ride a bike, which you'd think a Kamen Rider, someone who is known to have a bike sometimes, would be able to get in a seated bike position, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Rarely does Toei ever do that.
I guess not. But then again, they're stuck in a place where like the ball joint is seated at the base of the neck, but it would be nice if they like did a little like at least for this release, swapped out the neck, like that neck stump, carve out a little bit of it and make it sort of like a hinge or something so it can look up. That'd be helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now, this looks really good. I'm very happy about it.
And as you can expect, we get our first look at a Daisoto bike, so I'm immediately wondering, what could they possibly do for other sets? And immediately my mind is going to, well, if the double bike is going to have all these different parts on it, that means it might fit into a certain price point, maybe? So now I'm thinking, like, the Deno bike doesn't do much, so would you be able to toss in a Momotaro's? Just saying.
Ooh, interesting. No, they have to do the whole Denliner.
Yeah, whole Denliner. They can't just skimp out and give us one train car this time, like SIC did. It has to be the whole thing.
Right.
What if they include a very elaborate paper craft?
Legitimately, I'd be very okay with that. I'm not paying $60 for that, but I will get it. Don't test me. I love cardboard play sets. They're the coolest thing. And this is gonna get way off topic, but I've seen several toy photos where I'm just like, oh, that's a really nice diorama. I wonder where I can get that, and then I find out it's like a papercraft thing. Oh, yeah. But there are a lot of papercraft options, which I'm suddenly realizing would be a neat topic. But there's this company called Ready Sets who makes 1/18 scale and 1/12 scale papercraft little cardboard play sets that you can like unfurl and like snap together, and you've got like a space base or something. That stuff is pretty neat. Yeah, it's dope, and it's stuff that I've been really wanting to look more into. There are tons of other options like that, and I think the when Solo was out, there was a play set that had some plastic elements, but there were a bunch of like cardboard inserts. I don't know. I love playsets. Playsets are like one of my favorite things.
They're awesome.
Figures itself. Because like, what's an army that you're building without a base to put them in?
Right.
You gotta sleep somewhere.
I gotta sleep.
Yeah. Hey.
So
go ahead. Sounds like you were transitioning to it.
I was gonna say. So actually, do you want to talk about the rest of the blog post first, or go to feedback? Because the feedback is mostly about this bike.
Oh, okay, that's true. So I guess we'll do our topic preemptively. We'll do it early, because our topic was all about the stuff that came out this week, and we had 3 comments. We have one from Peacemaker2448 who says, having Double's bike is great, but being Premium Bandai puts it on a maybe one day list. I would honestly like to have all the bikes, but that is something that seems more and more unlikely with every announcement like this. There is a very limiting aspect to a lot of this, which it pains me while Bandai is making such huge swings in this direction. You know, Bluefin, Team Rider, they're not getting on top of the Soto and Shodo stuff, and I'm really hoping people are seeing these now. People have got eyes on these and recognize that this is some really cool stuff. Like, it's one thing for us to be excited about it, but it really makes me happy to see the public at large get hyped up for this. And I did not really see the public at large hyping this set up, which, obviously, because it's a premium set of stuff that you don't need. I guess technically all of it is, but that's... But when the Shoto Super stuff came out, when shodo-x Agito stuff, like I saw people excited for it. So I'm hoping that there's enough drive there to make it more available for us, because it's so frustrating to be excited and to champion these things and not be able to tell people where to go to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is interesting. We will get back to the comments in a second, but it is interesting how the examples you listed, the things that people were really excited for are the things they don't get off very often, whereas it's easy to look at this one and go, hey, it's double again, and it's bike again. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Onyx Strike is next.
Yeah. Onyx Strike says, the bikes were everything I hoped for. I hope this doesn't end up being a one-time thing, because I want more. We know you do.
Denbird. You got the Denbird, which I never understood that name for Deno's bike. That's what it's called. And then you also have the vending machine.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know me, I've gone out of my way to procure older versions of these things, just to put them with my collection. So it'd be nice to have an updated version with like updated stickers and details and all that stuff.
And depending on how good the stickers are on the old Candy Toy one, you could potentially just say, this is the vending machine, this other one is the bike.
True,
or vice
but
versa.
here's another thing. There was always a fleet of those bikes.
Oh.
So it's not out of the ordinary to have multiple. Just sort of stuff the older ones in the back.
You could substitute whoever was fighting for Kogami. You can substitute it with the Guardian. Buy multiples.
What? Wait.
I was saying you could use a Guardian in place of whatever Kogami had for soldiers.
I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's true. Ideally...
That's why I said buy more.
This is the craziest part of my mind thinking. Is it out of the question for Kogami to have, mass produced a birth system?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not really.
Really sucks that they're premium, but like, you could potentially buy a bunch of the Shoto ones.
That's true.
Yeah, and like...
That'd be a good way to do it.
Yeah. I'd do it. I might.
I know you would do it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Like, that suit is begging to be army built. Gotta say.
No, it's a beautiful suit.
You just reminded me of something when you said Shoto had that birth figure. I think I might have thought of this in a previous episode and forgot to mention it. When you said you were so glad that Shoto was done with those those hidden variants.
Yeah.
And one of the ones for birth was the birth prototype.
Yeah.
And I think I forgot to mention this. On eBay, there was one time where I was looking at Shoto stuff and noticed that there was like a birth that was significantly lower price. It was this seller who was selling like a boxed one and an unboxed one, and the unboxed one, I think it was actually a couple bucks higher. And the reason was in the description they said, "I opened it up so you know what variant it is."
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But the one that's boxed is still a little bit cheaper because you might not get the variant you want. I thought that's kind of cute.
I mean, I feel like that's really the case with a lot of blind bag figures. Like, blind bag Lego resellers are always about, because there are chase variants,
This is getting off topic, but I was just gonna say I recently bought like one of those Lego minifigure DC things, like the blind bag ones, and I just thought it's impressive that Lego seems to be the only one where people haven't really figured out like a code on the bag to identify the figure. It still comes down to just feel the bag, find out what parts are in it.
Yeah, legitimately, and I don't know if this is...
Well, there used to be a code on them.
Yeah, but I work at, or I guess worked, past tense, worked at Best Buy. And there was a kid who was looking at the Lego things, and I was walking around and I saw him. And he looked a little guilty that he was doing that, and I'm like, "Oh, do you need help filling these out?" Okay, so I helped the kid. sadly he didn't find what he wanted, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it really sucks, but that's the whole point of that collection. It's just, I don't know why you can't buy the thing that you want. I get the appeal of blind bag, and it works to an extent if like there are enough really cool things in a way for you to get. But I don't know, like typically with other lines, there's no point of getting a duplicate, right? Who are you going to trade it with? No one collects toys anymore. There's barely a market for that, especially for blind bags. It has to be all done online, and then you're going to have to ship that stuff? That's expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Blade Raider,
right. We're going to read half of your thing now, and then half when we talk about Yudo.
Yes.
I feel like I've said this way too many times this year. It looks nice and I would like to own it one day, but not now because it's a premium Bandai. This is how you kill a line for me. I'm copying this reply to the text file to see how long until I need it again. That's fair. Absolutely fair. And
he's going the classic Josh one day approach. I like it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, again, if we gotta get louder at Team Rider and Bluefin. Not necessarily like, hey, get angry, but like say, hey, these are really cool things and we want them. And, you know, a big push for that is doing the surveys that they put out for all the IREMs we want. Let them know about all the IREMs that we would like to acquire.
Well, I guess they're not going to listen to us now.
No, they're not. I very much appreciated that survey, but IREMs, come on, guys.
I love all my IREMs.
I love them all. But you know, it's being a part of that and you know, doing all that and generating, I guess, some sort of positive press for these lines. That's the best that we can do. Get louder about it. Be more excited about it. That's the best that we could do to get some of this stuff. And genuinely, I don't think that retail items are going to be viable here. I just think the premium items will be. Because anytime they've brought over candy toys, it's price per piece is so not what I want. Like,
yeah,
I've seen,
not worth it.
You know, the Gundam Universal unit figures, $10 a box, I think, or maybe I'm exaggerating, but like it was too much per box and not at retail price at all, you know, and that's what really kills it for me. Like, if having a lot of premium items kills it for you, what kills it for me is pricing me out of the retail stuff. I get it for these premium items because that's how these are going to be made. Like, these are not Kickstarter exclusives, but these are like, again, limited run pieces. I equate it to like Glyos and everything that those guys are doing. Everything Glyos and all those limited run production items. That's what I see out of premium Bandai. So that doesn't bother me too much. It's just when you price us out of the cheap candy toys, which is one of its main selling products, I really don't think that you've got us.
Yeah.
So just give us
and
premium
also,
stuff.
Yeah. And speaking for myself, like I think I've mentioned kind of offhand before, I can sometimes be a bit picky about what I pay for a particular thing, such as, do I really want to pay this price for a toy? So there have been several times where, like as recently as that Shodo Gills NG3 set, where I was just like, oh, this is really cool. Oh, premium Bandai. I understand.
Yeah. I mean, like,
well,
I rationed it out.
Specifically, the thought I had was, I can't believe they're doing all this stuff. Oh, it's premium Bandai. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's $20 a figure. Like, I'd rather have a slightly smaller figure that's more playable and has all their accessories instead of buying a Marvel Legends or a Black Series or a Lightning Collection because they're bigger, but they're missing accessories and missing some paint. Like, I know that these are going to miss some paint, but at least it's more playable than those.
Yeah.
And I like a more hard plastic experience rather than like the gummier plastic that most American toys seem to have. But yeah, that's just my thing. Are we good with these? Can we move on to shodo-x?
Well, we still have some things to talk about in this one pose because we're getting gentle with G again. It's back.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very gentle because there's a lot of swearing in this first one.
Oh, you led into it. I thought you were gonna say them.
I don't have the text in front of me.
Oh, okay, all right. So
I literally just have the picture saved on a folder here.
Sure, I did not understand quite what the not question but opinion there was at the top. This is the rough translation to G-Man. I like Magia's package and the sick feeling of Gatakiri Ba as an example. Like, he's relating it to the army building nature of Gatakiri Ba. Get that. Love that.
Well, also
us.
the packaging. Yeah. The packaging, specifically. He's talking about the packaging design, how there's a ton of Magias on the cover.
Yeah. But, wait, did we have tons of Gatakiri Ba on the Gatakiri Ba package, or just that image?
I think they might, because it shows a photo of the goofy photoshopped Gatakiri Ba image. Because I think they were I think they were saying, I like the way that this gives me the similar vibe as this one promotional image.
Well, either way, it sort of led into G-Man, giving us some behind the scenes of how product pictures are made and what the process they go through. A single box is divided into multiple days for 1 to 6 to 8 characters, taking 10 hours or more. So those 6 to 8 characters will take 10 hours or more. A lot of back and forth with a professional photographer. And then for this one specifically, they were like, hey, can we get like lots of Magyar in this box? And then in 2 minutes, the dude came back with like a Photoshop of them all together. They're like, yep, we're keeping that
copy and paste, right?
Yeah. I mean,
like it.
It makes me want more. And if anything, this latest episode of 01 makes me want tons of these.
Of course.
Yeah.
And good news for people who bought the box of whatever instead of the complete set. You got 2.
Yeah. But also bad news for you is that you got extras of everything else. So have fun with those. You
got extras of 001 and Metal Cluster Hopper, which for fiction reasons you probably don't need extras for.
Yeah, and on top of that, you get a second Magyar, but you don't get a second accessory set, so you're SOL for his weapons.
To be fair, you could repaint the eyes of the extra Metal Cluster Hopper to be red.
Oh. Yeah. But
if you're a customizer, then the 001 might be cool for like night room. I don't know.
And I feel like on some level, if you're buying Soto, there's a little bit of a customizer in you. A little bit.
Yeah.
Because you're building.
I literally, just today, I was just, because I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to get another Trilobite Magia. I'm fine with just like skipping that one for now and just customizing this one into a human gear. So I've already started that.
I know, you're a monster. But
no, it was a monster, and I've made it into a non-monster.
You cut out its face, and you don't even have the putty to put it back in. You're the monster.
I know, that's
Hey, also, something I want to note about the design of the Magyar, and this is just in general, and I'm sure someone's already said this, but I love how the sort of straps and all that stuff really reflect a lot of it. It makes it look like bones. Like on the thigh it
Yeah.
looks like a femur or something. I don't know if that's the right
Yeah.
term. And then like, you know, the calves, like that area, it has the 2 stripes, so it'll look like a. And then the what is it? The chest has that sort of like rib pattern. Very evil.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that stuff isn't on the regular human gear. So it's like it appears when it gets corrupted. So that's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah. And like it's truly the insides of the thing. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, the shocker dudes, those dudes, well, they look like luchadors, but they kind of have that sort of like white on black situation, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of, I don't want to say skull-ish, but like you could tie a visual thread perhaps.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense because this was the start of a new era. The main character is grasshopper themed. Never thought of that.
It all
works.
flows together. It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
So what else did G get gentle with us for?
He got gentle with that belt buckle.
That's my favorite part of it. I just love that it's just, he says, let me scroll down to it. Do buckle of the blank is not included.
Alright, cool.
And then-
Love it. That's the title. That's the title of this
And then-
episode.
And then it says answer comes with.
Comes with.
And also the
Oh, wait,
specifically
okay,
that was
hold
for-
on. I do have something. You guys have already seen this, though. But the title is Do Buckle of the Blank is not included. And then in the description, I'm just going to put comes with. I'm
Nice.
going to write this down for future me.
Yeah.
Yes.
For context, that is for Jin's Burning Falcon form. We were not sure if he came with like an empty buckle. He does.
Mhm.
And also, Ichigata. I was curious if they were even going to include open hands because they included the.
Wait, no.
alternates that don't have the
Type
buckle.
1
Turns
is
out-
to do not come with smack. Oh,
do
man.
drugs.
I don't know if I like this one more.
Answer comes with.
Is to do not come with smack.
Okay, so that's the term they use for the open hands. I did not know that.
Yep. So all open hands are known as smack from now on.
Yep. These. Oh, God, I love this blog. I love Google Translate. Shoot, man.
That does just bring us back on track. That actually does make sense because I don't think he comes with a weapon in that armor set.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying that, hey, we were wondering, you know, they were talking with Toei or whoever, or the higher-ups or whatever, asking, does he have a weapon or does he just do hand-to-hand combat? And they said, finally, hand-to-hand combat, so that must have taken the weapon slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Makes sense.
like, the only reason
That's
I was
smart.
thinking that they would substitute it out fully is if they needed the budget for something else. But then why wouldn't you just have the regular open hands and just leave the not punchy fists?
Yeah.
Right.
One
But
can argue that they do have a weapon they could be including somewhere, which is the Progrise Hopper Blade with the attaché caliber attached to it. Still don't have that.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
But we are a bit behind on the blog, so,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I bet what will happen is since he's not going to get a new weapon, it will come with his final form.
Oh, maybe.
That'd work.
Yeah. And, like, you know,
Because he's probably gonna keep using it once he gets his final form.
it is very strange that for everything that we've done, for everything that Soto's done, we're really lagging behind on weapons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, like, we don't have
The briefcases.
any of the
Briefcases.
cases. Yeah, we don't have any of the
Yeah.
case modes for any of the other weapons. We
Oh
don't-
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we also... I mean, you could technically fix this by buying another one, but we don't technically have a second gun for shooting wolf.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, So that's it for this week's blog. Next week, we're going to get another look at a Kuga figure, and another part of AI 08, which 07 done?
Yeah, I guess it might be.
No, well, I don't think we need to call it out yet because they already showed Zamonas and said, "Hey, this is part of AI 08, just so you know."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seemed to me like they might have been skipping ahead. I don't know. This is technically our first wave since the current situation.
Yeah.
That's true.
We need
I also find it
somehow like affect the all the images and all the stuff must have been printed or been ready to print in advance.
I think it is interesting that even though there's not a new episode this weekend, they're still going to have the blog update.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, right.
Well,
yeah,
they're doing that.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
So
it's like the show didn't take a break, but the blog took a break, so it's like switching.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
I personally think that I feel like the next figure they reveal will be Ikazuchi.
Maybe, yeah,
most likely.
I wonder. Okay, so if we're taking 3 weeks break on the shows,
yeah,
and we took like 4 or 5-ish weeks on the blog, then I think it's sort of we're sort of realigning with the show, and Ikazuchi would have been fresh, or like we would have been Ikazuchi as far as Ikazuchi. No, we wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know where we'd be. Either way,
we would be.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So maybe we.
I was thinking him since he just came back.
Yeah, I hope so. But we'll see. Yeah. So some Kuga stuff, some 08 stuff. Look forward to it. I'm excited. Who do you think? Are we getting Pegasus or Titan? I'm thinking Pegasus.
Probably Pegasus.
Yeah, makes sense. Chronological order.
Or they do that thing where they just do both of them and just be done with it, because they've done that once.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, they could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been kind of a weird setup where it's been like every other week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But hey, let's dive into some shodo-x.
Yeah, shodo-x.
Yeah, it just came out, so they did a product review, which is, par for the course for Sentai stuff, since I guess they really do that with Minipla as well. There is a little bit of lead time that they do posts for that, but Yudo doesn't get that privilege. But hey, we still get our information here. Something they wanted to know right off the bat, some of the less heavy hitting stuff, is that you can make a V out of the packaging. Yay, that's nice. I don't know if there are any box displayers who were clamoring for this, but if you are, more power to you. You can also swap out Red's box for the accessory box, because it also has the peak of the V, but not the gold stripe. I don't know what the point of this is, but I was hoping one of you guys would know.
I was about to ask you, why are they forming a V?
God, I have no idea.
Just goofing?
Because it's Sentai, they like Vs.
You know what? They do. And I don't know why. Hey, let's talk about
there's a V.
Huh?
There's a V on all 3 of the Kiramager's mecha.
Is that really?
Yeah, there's one on all 3 of them.
Oh. All 3? What?
Yeah, Kiramagen has one, Keen Express has one, and the next one had one too.
X?
I forget the name of it.
Who?
The one we're going to be getting for Silver.
Oh, wow. Spoilers. He gets a mech? Wow. Can't believe it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
But something that wasn't too evident. I'm sure we touched on it before, but and we see these in these images here. The sleeves, not the t-shirt parts of the sleeves, but like the bottom parts, those are done up in stickers. And these pictures don't do them justice up until later. Because, we've all seen the images floating around on Twitter with the more shimmery stuff. I don't really know how to feel about it.
I think they look really good.
I saw the toy photos just to see, they have stickers there. Why? Is that part not colored right? And then when I was watching the latest episode, that is technically a different material. It's just very subtle.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's
subtle
kind of
enough
the best
you could
way
ignore that
able
sticker.
to do it.
I'm not gonna put those stickers on, to be completely honest with you.
Well,
that's what I was just saying, is subtle enough that you could just ignore it.
Yeah. But I do wonder how hard it would be not only to paint it, but to make sure that paint's durable enough to withstand play. Or at the very least being thrown into a box full of the rest of your Sentai stuff and not getting scratched up. And like migrating that paint onto anyone else. That's my whole thing. But hey, this is our first time getting an accessory set since Loop Hat. And they've responded to say, like, in the survey, everyone's like, there's not enough wrists, or there's not enough hands. Oh, hold on, excuse me. There aren't enough, smack. There aren't enough smack.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah. So yeah, they included one for each figure, and they're ball jointed now. But the question that they posed was, what the heck is up with shodo-x? What is X about? What is courage X? I guess Yudo is the courage part. X means to break? Like, I guess we're breaking off from the this is a new place for Yudo, is basically it. And there are 5 main points that they want to hit, 5 reform points that they went through for these figures. The first one is coloration in the head. They did a side-by-side with Riso Red, who is completely blank, and they've added white paint, they've added the glitter paint, and they've added the visor color. Great stuff. Yeah. Looks good. Love that for us. And then the reform point 2, restoring the shoulder joints. These were something that were missing in the the Re-Soldier figures, and I think missing in just all of the girl figures that we've gotten so far.
I meant to say, I wonder if you could answer this, because I have no experience with Yudo.
Hello?
Did you hear me?
Oh, no, I didn't hear you at all.
Oh, I was saying I was hoping you'd be able to answer this, because I have no experience with Yudo, so I don't know any sort of situation they would have had there. I don't fully remember this. It was just me going off of hearsay. Yeah. Well, I mean, because you own a bunch of these figures.
Yeah, no, I do. But once again, I'm very sweaty, and I don't want to touch
That's fair.
Hey, reform point 3, add waist movement. They didn't really say too much about it, but I'm really glad it's here.
When I saw that, I did look at this article, by the way, before. That's why I'm commenting on these. This one, I was just like, they weren't doing that already?
Yeah, they weren't. But here's the thing. It's 1 per box, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And I think the image here, that might be a pre-production one, because the legs all look sort of painted.
It's quite possible.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, that's neat. By twist of the hip, is applied dynamic that poses became possible. Good.
It's true.
Yeah. Reform point 4, make your wrist movable with a ball joint. Wow, why didn't I think of that? I've been trying to move my wrist for years. All I needed was a ball joint. Good stuff.
I was sharing that with someone, and they don't really collect sodas. They were like, "Wait, Soto hasn't been doing a ball joint hand?"
Yeah,
it's like it seems like a really good upgrade.
It does, and I hope they do that at some point. But yeah. So now you can get a bit more subtlety in your sword posums. Reform point 5, repair the width of the hip joint. So this is something that we've been seeing in a lot of the more recent lines, and an effort to make the crotch area more seamless between the thighs and the crotch. And here, without hindering any movement, they were able to sort of expand the bottom of the crotch to, fill that out a little more. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And it's sort of frustrating that Ryusou Red's his red arm is flipped backwards because the peg hole is not supposed to face inward. But that's not even an issue for this part. And a special reform point 6 that they didn't talk about, but now they are talking about, is that they've reformed the weapon size and gimmick reproduction. So they've made the sword bigger, and they said it was by about 127%. And now the sword doesn't look so dinky, which is good because I'll be honest, I didn't really notice how bad it was until seeing this. And now I'm kind of upset at my Soldier figures, and I might need to print some more.
I think I might have, I can't remember now, but I might have commented on with 01, the attaché caliber being a little bit smaller than I thought it'd be. I think at the time, the hopper blade had not appeared in the show, so we didn't really have an idea of scale, but I still thought it looked a little bit small on the figure. And Blade Raider actually showed a bunch of rider swords next to each other, as well as a Sentai weapon or two, and basically put it out there that 01's weapons have been kind of on the small side compared to previous lines.
Interesting.
So it's like, this is a thing.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm glad that they, it is a point for them to reform. I do wonder if there's any meat removal. Let me see.
I think we had confirmation of that with some of the guns.
We did, and notably about the guns that they didn't talk about here, there are 3 different types of guns. One of which you can connect with a sword. The other 2, you'd think they just reuse the mold, but they have the meat removal on a different side. Like, one's on the left side, one's on the right side.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know why they chose to do that, but I am interested to see, if it changes any sort of play pattern in my, experience with these.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can attach the sword to make the Kirame Buster for red, and I believe, that's it. That's it for the post.
Cool.
And Blade Raider also had a comment on this.
He did, so let's talk about it. Blade Raider says, I'm clicking to the channel.
I want
these. I like the new wrist joints. It's also nice seeing how complete they are in one wave, paint aside, of course. Still wondering what that X in the name in about. Oh, and I totally missed the painted Yudo heads. Nice. Yeah, good stuff. And, once you've listened to this episode, you'll know what the X is about. I mean, I still kind of don't know. I don't know why it's an X, but this is.
I was about to say, when you listen to this episode, you'll find out what it means. Not really.
Not really. Yeah, I mean, Yo and Camille, the trade name X to break. I think you will see that you're the Chinese characters that are glimpses.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, now it's super clear.
Yeah, of course. How could I have forgotten?
Right.
Yeah. So take that information for what. Now you know what the X is. Guys, that's it for the news, though. I'm very excited for Yudo, and I can't wait for it to get here. But I have to wait till frickin' Kuga comes out before I can ship my stuff. So I am eagerly awaiting my Yudo stuff. You already got your Kamen Rider AI06, and I'm very jealous because I still have to wait for mine because it's in that same box. Yeah, not the box that's been stuck in Japan because I tried to ship it Sal and then they canceled Sal. But in the next box coming, they haven't moved. They haven't moved in weeks, months.
Neither of mine.
Yeah.
Mine have just been not a single update.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Well, it's very strange. The box that they resent was not the box that updated in my tracking. So like I have 4 laid out, right?
Yeah.
The first one said return to sender. The second one said, oh, final delivery. It made it to the sender. And then that same day, I got a message from Mandarake saying, hey, we want to reship this out using DHL. Is that all right? I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Ship it out. I got that. But that box wasn't the box that got the final delivery. That box was the one that says return to sender. And a few days later, when I got that box, a few days after that, the first one updated and said, "Hey, final delivery, collected at counter." And I'm like, "But technically final delivery. What happened to the other final delivery one?" And then the other return to sender one, the other two, it took weeks for them to switch to return to sender. And then, they've been like that since the 16th. And then on the 24th, one of them just re-updated and said return to sender.
Fun.
So I don't understand the process, though I do absolutely... I'm getting irrationally angry about this because there are a lot of people who are working very hard to make sure packages are getting to where they need to be. And at the end of the day, these are toys, and it really doesn't matter. So, it's very strange about the whole return to sender thing. I don't understand getting it return to sender twice. Like, return to sender, processing at delivery post office, and then return to sender again.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I was about to say, I understand their process, which is everything is in chaos right now.
Yeah, everything is absolutely in chaos. And, hey, if you're stuck in my position, right, it is frustrating. I get it. But understand that the world's sort of ending, so you might want to calm the fuck down. Excuse me for my language, but...
Yeah, you and G-Man both need to...
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we gotta have a talk. Yeah, guys, I've got stuff that I really want to unbox and a shower that I really want to take. Is there anything more that you want to say about this week's stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Good stuff.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how the double bike turns out because like the other comment in our podcast topic, I definitely want to see this be more than a one-time thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, guys, that's it for this episode. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Before this goes up, there's going to be an unboxing. If you haven't already watched it, there's some really neat things in there that Blade Raider sort of whetted my interest about a certain line. And then I just sort of found more of it on Mandarake, and then I got it all. I got it all. Not all of it, but I came across it randomly once again on Mandarake. Like it was in the, hey, you might like this too. And I was like, oh, hey, I recognize some of this stuff. Let me click on it. Oh.
I do want this too.
Yeah, I do. it opened up a whole thing. It was a whole thing, man. And now I'm gonna be chasing a few more of those things. So for any of you who are competing with me to get that stuff, you got more competition, buddy. I'm coming for them. You watch out. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a good time. Keep it juicy.
Don't shower with your packages.
How else are you gonna clean your package, my friend?
That's it for the show. Goodbye.
Cyclone! Joker! 変身